We're fans of the Mazda 6, but when we reviewed the Tourer last year, we did raise a couple of issues, notably about some clunkiness in the multimedia system and a bit more tyre noise than we'd like. It seems Mazda may have been listening, because for 2015 they've given their flagship model a bit of a tweak. Externally, you might be hard pressed to tell the old model from the new, and if you don't opt for the range-topping Sport Nav model, visually they are almost identical. The Sport Nav now gets a revised grille and a funky set of LED headlights that include not just a cool set of running lights, but also the ability to alter their pattern so you can drive with main beam permanently engaged without dazzling other drivers. To complement these changes, the company has also moved to using LED fog lights, and Sport Nav models also get a new style of 19-inch alloy wheel too. At the back, it's largely business as usual, although the new model does get LED tail lights that look pretty impressive at night. The changes to the interior, however, are more obvious, and they apply across the entire Mazda 6 range. It's just as spacious and comfortable as before, but now Sport Nav models get stone leather upholstery as standard, while all models get a redesigned dashboard with a more inviting set of lines and an improvement in material quality. The instruments have been subtly redesigned, although you'd need to compare the two side by side to spot any difference, and you now get a head-up display on Sport Nav models that displays your speed plus info from the cruise control and navigation system. The climate controls have been simplified, they're now less confusing to look at, easier to reach, and the vents are mounted higher up, but they still operate with the same well-oiled feel that we've come to expect. Between the seats there's a new sliding cover over a pair of cup holders, and there's a new electronic parking brake that frees up a lot of space here. There's also a new version of the company's multimedia commander that now includes a dedicated volume control and a bunch of shortcut buttons that allow direct access to the various functions of Mazda's MZD Connect system. That replaces the smaller screen of the slightly clunky TomTom based system from last year's car, and I have to say the new system is one of the best out there and completely answers our criticisms of the old one. And on Nav models it includes full European mapping with 3 years worth of free updates. All models get DAB digital radio, Bluetooth connectivity, access to a couple of internet-based music services and a whole bunch more. There's also a series of apps that give maintenance advice and show how economical you're being, plus a mind-boggling array of settings that allow you to configure your car just the way you like it, from various display settings to navigation settings, safety systems, sound setup, and so on. Nothing's really changed for rear seat passengers, which is fine because there's nothing really wrong back here, although there is a new seat filling material both front and back which is said to help absorb vibrations. Saloon models still get a decent 483 litre boot, but if that's not big enough for you, you can drop the rear seats to increase that to 1,632 litres, plus of course there's a Tourer model with even more space. The engine range too is largely unchanged from last year, and that's no bad thing because they're all excellent, starting with a pair of 2 litre petrol units with 145 or 165 PS, plus a pair of twin-turbo 2.2 litre diesels with either 150 or 175 PS. That last one is our favourite for a whole bunch of reasons, not least of which is its 420 Nm of torque, its ability to sprint from 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 7.9 seconds, and the fact it emits just 119 grams per kilometre of CO2, all while returning up to 62.8 mpg. It's still a peach on the road. There's tons of torque, so it's quick off the mark and through the gears. The 6-speed manual has a fabulous shift action to it, and it all settles down to a very agreeable hum once you're up to speed. Our main criticism of last year's model was a touch too much tyre noise, and this new one? Mazda say they've reduced noise levels by 25% over the old model, thanks to the use of improved door seals and additional sound insulation, and we think they've cracked it. At speed, tyre noise is much reduced over the old model, making it a supremely comfortable cruiser. We were particularly impressed at how suspension noises have been isolated from the cabin. Mazda have also revised front and rear damper ratings, as well as various suspension bushes, with the changes primarily designed to offer more engaging road manners. And although the Mazda 6 is still a big car, it's not difficult to hustle it through a tight series of bends. We wouldn't object to a little extra feedback through the steering wheel if Mazda wants something to aim for with the next car, but the 6 still turns in keenly with well-controlled body roll. Prices for the new Mazda 6 start at £19,795, with our top-of-the-range test car weighing in at £27,655. Compared to something like the new Mondeo, that's about on the money, but the Mazda is a much more enthusiastic performer than the Ford. It makes better use of technology and, to our mind, is a much nicer place to sit. Last year, the Mazda 6 was our segment favourite, and despite the launch of new competitors like the Ford, as far as we're concerned, everyone else is still playing catch-up.